Good afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. You may not be actually watching this on Monday, but this is being recorded Monday, June 15th. This is our summer 26 STAAR procedural training. Let's see if we can move through this in a way that is expeditious but thorough. And if y'all just hang with me, we should be good because you have all had training several times this year. We just altered a little bit for the summer. Remember, training never, ever, ever takes the place of reading the appropriate manuals and resources that include your emails. There's a link to the manual here. You can also come pick one up if you want to read from the manual anytime between now and Wednesday, June 17th. Let's just go to the testing overview. Here are the tests that will be given on specific days. It generally sticks to this. If a student happens to miss a test, they're welcome to come up for makeups on Thursday. We do have 5 students that are actually scheduled to test on Thursday. I believe it's 2 US and 3 biology, but also we will host makeups if a student calls and says, I missed my test, I need to try to make it up. I may even send an email that said, if you'd like to schedule a makeup, please email me. But most of the time, if they do not take advantage of their opportunity that they're scheduled, they're automatically become a December retester. Here's some things to do and remember. Remember, anything that could help or hinder a student on any STAAR test needs to be covered or removed from walls in the halls or classrooms, and all the rooms will be checked before you can leave Wednesday, June 17th. Please let me know when yours is ready. I will check in advance. And when you see your staff assignments in a minute, just keep in mind that while we are putting over 30 students on a roster, think about how many students are actually rostered for your summer classes and how many have showed. We do plan for a little bit more than that to come test, and we hope they do come test. And we have contingencies for if, for some amazing circumstance, this year was the record year and everybody showed up to test that day, we will figure it out. All right, so make sure you're communicating with students where they should go. Those lists will be sent out to you tomorrow and start being sent out to students tomorrow. They have already had the list posted without rooms. Sometime tomorrow afternoon, it will be posted with rooms, and that should be able to help them tremendously. We have Chromebooks for testing if theirs is not ready to test. That means they forget it, it's not charged, it is dysfunctional, whatever. We have plenty of Chromebooks and we should be fine. Attendance will be taken by the testing office. Numbers will be confirmed and absent tickets picked up around 10. Miss Clifton or I will be coming to do that each day. Passes will be distributed at that time as well. Remember, we must provide scratch paper. It isn't you ask a kid if they want it. The directions say we have to provide it. Supplemental aids only exist for English, Algebra 1, and Biology, and only students with this accommodation can be provided with the aid. I want us to see this, and I want you to see me take it off. There is not a minimum time to test. We have encouraged that in the past, but in the directions, it tells students they need to take their time. We want to encourage students to take their time, check back over their work. When they raise their hand, say, make sure you check back over your work. Make sure you go over it one more time because this is what we're going to submit and then this is done. If you are in an old school manner and you haven't heard me say this throughout the spring, I have, so please listen. Do not ever post on a board, here's what time we started, here's the earliest time you can turn in. We're there to guide them. They should raise their hand. We should help them turn in. And in the summer, once they turn in and submit, once they submit with you helping them, then we give them a pass and they move on. Grab and go breakfast will be available at 8:45, and then we are on our way to testing rooms. There will not be an option of eating lunch at MHS next week. That being said, if around noon we still have some kids testing, Ms. Clifton or I may be going, giving them that opportunity if they look like they're going to be here a while. Students have to leave the building once they finish. The pass is what signifies they're ready to go. In an emergency and you're not able to fulfill your testing assignment or you need me, here is my phone number. Make sure you text. There'll be a group text each day, and this will help streamline our staff communication. Remember, don't reply all to the group if it just pertains to you, but if it's something that can be beneficial for everybody, you can put it in there. Duties have been shared in an email. You've also seen the link to training and or at least your slides for training in the training confirmation form. So, or verification form. So make sure you've done that. Duties have been shared, but changes can also be made. So just be prepared to make adjustments and we will continue to do so each day. Dictionaries can only be used for English STAAR tests. We can use bilingual glossaries, but not dictionaries. Everybody should fulfill their staff assignment role until materials are returned to 0109. And if you have any additional duties that day, remember to be cleared by me. Testing students have to be escorted if they leave the testing room for any other reason than when they are leaving after completing testing or if they're going to the restroom. When students finish, write the name on the exit pass and instruct them to leave the building. We're all entrusted with our spaces at MHS. Please make sure you go by the old saying and make the choice to leave where you're assigned better than when you found it. All right, just keep in mind that there are online embedded supports, text-to-speech, speech-to-text, spell check, word prediction, content and language supports. For these two, you should distribute headphones to those students. When the student arrives, you're going to ask them their name. You're going to give them a seat number. All of your seats should be numbered. Don't put your test tickets out because all your students will not show up. Speech to text and text to speech. Speech to text, I put in a very small group room, and if that student appears with us to testing, we need to put them in the far corner. Test irregularities, if it seems wrong or out of compliance, make sure that you call me and we will advise you, but it should always be documented on the incident report. Make sure you submit your confirmation training form by 2:30 Wednesday, June 17th. Most of you are going to do that today. If you have just now gotten to this point and haven't opened up your slides, make sure you open up your slides and reading that information. Here's some reminders and some review information for you to review. Here's the high points in the manual of things you probably need to revisit at the very least. Please make sure you are reading the test administration instructions. All right, the biggest thing I can tell everybody is follow the leader. The leader in this case is your checklist. This keeps us all on the same page. This tells us what to do, when to hand things out. There are some things that say in December. Obviously, disregard those. This is the checklist we use for both summer and fall testing. Remember, you're going to take paper attendance and Monica or I will come submit online. There's a key thing in here because it takes time for us to document the, I'm not going to reread all this thing in the checklist that you've seen a lot, but I need you to read it because it is modified for the summer and the link is in your training. Right here, it says no materials can be returned to the testing office prior to, I'm going to change this prior to 11. I'm going to say 11:30 stays, but if we're able to receive prior to 11:30, we'll let you know. It takes time to account for the absent tickets and make sure it's properly documented on our end. So give us the time to make sure we've done that. And every day, either Katie and Chandra, and one day Jessica and Chandra will be acting as your assist, your Chromebook people, our restroom people. It's going to be all for one right there. They will be able to tell you if you can submit your or bring your materials down. Okay, these are the high points. Summer is a great time. If you have questions, please email me. But remember, don't forget to submit your training form. I hope your Monday's been magnificent. I hope your training wasn't all that painful. Probably the fastest one I've done all year. Make sure to submit your form, ask questions if you have them, and have a great day.